NOC. Hey folks, we're back for another episode of Building the Nantahala Retreat, and today we got some cabinets in a giant trailer, Coal Hill Custom Cabinets. We got Nate and Christina who came over from Knoxville, Tennessee. Go Vols. You guys Vols fans?
Go Sports.
Oh, what? Go Sports. Okay, never mind. So we're going to unload these cabinets. They're quarter sawn oak, beautiful cabinets, and today's show is putting these things in and all the tips and tricks and stuff we run into. If you're going to do your own cabinet job, this would be great to watch. So on a serious note, Christina is an amateur power lifter, over 200 pounds deadlift. That's hardly amateur. Hey Jason, how much can you deadlift?
It's deadlift.
Over 200.
Dude, you're gonna call me out, and you're gonna call me out like that, dude. I think I'm at like 201.
Yeah, okay.
I think I got 201 in my bag.
I don't think so.
I think I got it. Is that this one?
Yep.
Yeah, I can't even touch the ground.
Wow. Dude, we got to get into cabinets. Did you see this trailer? It's powder coated.
I'm a little jealous,
nice,
actually. I guess these guys go big or go home. This thing's huge.
We're going to start with the upper cabinets because you can actually get right under them. You don't have to lean out over the base cabinets. And we're going to start in the corner. And Nate was smart enough to have actually put all of these cabinets in the trailer in reverse order. The height of our upper cabinets is actually determined by the one full height pantry cabinet that we have, which is 94 inches tall, which means the top of our upper cabinets need to line up with that, so the bottom is 54 inches. And since we're gonna have a tile backsplash here, we're actually gonna screw a ledger board to the wall. This will hold the weight of the cabinets while we get them attached to the wall. These wires are for our under cabinet lighting, and you can see that they come out a little high from where we actually want them. We actually want them just here so that it comes out in this part of the cabinet. So what I'm gonna have to do, and this is on purpose, is just chisel out this drywall so that they actually come out in the right spot. But that's way better to have them come out a little high than a little low. It's a great idea to pre-drill the holes for your screws to hold the cabinet on the wall, but it's really hard to come in through the front of the cabinet with a drill with a full-size chuck like this. So we've got a little fix for that. We'll show you.
Oh, you want me to say it?
Sure. If you can keep it to like 30 seconds.
Yeah, we got 15 minutes or so on this little segment. If you use a standard drill with a chuck, you're gonna potentially rub the finish off your cabinet. In this case, the tops are finished because you can see them from the loft. That'd be a big no-no. Instead, we're using this impact where there is no like external chuck thing, and we've extended the bit to get a nice low angle, right? And there's no chance of me skinning the cabinet with this drill.
Got that, Chuck?
That's the tip.
Tip for tip, tat for tat. I like to actually put the screw in to the piloted hole so that when we hold the cabinet up, I'm not trying to reach down and grab a screw out of my belt and fumble around. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those in.
I see where you're going with that.
And
that makes
they'll
sense.
be ready to go.
I mean, it's not as good as my tip, but I mean, it's a tip. I call it a semi-pro tip.
All right.
Amateur tip.
You know I'm gonna cut all this out, right?
Okay, right. Whatever.
It's like you're on TV.
Man, I'm on TV. Hi, Mom.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Well, we got a pretty detailed project in here putting the cabinets in. So...
Oh, y'all doing cabinets?
Yeah, so I'm gonna stick you on baseboard, you and Ray on baseboard today.
Okay. Do you not watch our channel, bro?
Dude, we're cabinet makers.
Dude, baseboard was like last year, bro. Yeah. We're up to cabinets now.
Okay, well, today...
No. No.
I'm gonna do the cabinets because that's the
It's
cool
like a slap
part.
in the face,
Seriously. I mean, we're professional cabinet makers, and they put us on freaking baseboard duty. Dude, anyone can do baseboard.
That means you can do baseboards.
That's crap, dude.
For most cabinet installations, installing the corner cabinet last would be the most difficult way to do it, so we're going to start from the corner and work out from there in both directions. This corner cabinet is called a blind cabinet because part of it will be covered by the next cabinet. You got any blind cabinet jokes?
Well, give me a second. I mean, come on. I can't do it on the spot.
It's going to get covered up. You got 2 seconds.
Blind cabinet. Okay. Well, in case you don't know, this is the blind part about it, meaning it won't be seen. Hidden, blind, eyes.
What are y'all doing, Ray?
Not cabinets.
Pulling these under cabinet wires through the biggest hole we could drill in the under part of our cabinet because of the size of that space was very difficult because of the friction. So a pro tip here was to use glass cleaner to lube up the wire so that you can pull it through a lot easier. This actually worked great, and it didn't leave any kind of oily mess or residue that we'd have to clean up later.
We're going, oh wait, we put it in the wrong hole. Or I did. Are
you joking me?
I put it in the same hole. Hold on. Retract. Okay, back.
She said.
Yeah. Wow, he's on point today. Jamie's setting him up.
Oh gosh.
Nate's knocking him down. That's your husband.
We'll be around all night, folks.
One fantastic tool that Nate has that we don't are these Bessey cabinet clamps. They align the face frames in both directions at once, makes it really easy.
So we put them on. It's got to be loose, and then you feel that.
Yeah.
And then we can tighten them together.
Man, we've been doing it wrong the whole time. That's so much better than a regular clamp. Wow. I call that lippage. If the cabinet one face is off the other. And right now we got zero.
Yeah.
Zero on the lippage. These have padding on them too. We got to get some of these.
Yeah, he was asking me how I felt about it.
All right.
I like it. Feels good.
At least you got one dad joke for the cabinets. One's on.
These are bloom door hinges, and then you have an on-off for the soft close feature. On a little door like this, we just have one out of the three turned on, and that's about right.
That's good.
But on a big door, all three are on, right?
Yep.
Before I slam it. Check, Roger.
Yep. All on.
So those are nice. But if that was closing too slow, we could turn, say, one of them off, and it would close a little faster. For our face frames, we're going to pre-drill. That's important so we don't split the frame. But this is a 7/64 bit, which is a crazy sounding size. And that's a GRK 2.5-inch trim screw. That's what we're going to face frame it with. If you don't own a set of clamps for cabinets like Nate does, what we've done in the past is just to use quick grip clamps. They do a good job at not marring the cabinet and usually have enough force behind them to pull the face frames tight. And it's really important to pre-drill like we're doing for these face frame screws. The face frames could very easily be split if you don't pre-drill by the screw that you're using, and I've seen this happen. And if you were wondering, Nate and Jamie really hit it off. They're both into woodworking. And if you didn't know, people that are into woodworking love talking about woodworking for hours. Who would have known that dust collection could spur a 30-minute conversation?
It's all my favorites. You want to get a beer later?
I don't know if I warned you guys that Jamie just likes to talk.
I just thought it was something you played in the background to soothe your employees.
No, just so you know. You got this, Jason?
Yeah, I
You
got
good?
it.
I can get Ray if I need to.
No, you don't need to get Ray, bro. I got it. It's holding the camera. How hard is it?
I don't know, I'm worried. Let's take a quick break from today's video to thank our sponsor. And if you didn't know, these sponsors make it possible for us to take the extra time out of our workday to make these videos, so we really appreciate them. Today's sponsor is VEVOR Tools, and they are dedicated to getting customers quality tools at an incredibly low price. They also offer 30-day free returns and 24/7 service. So if you're new to woodworking or want to get into woodworking and you want to try out some tools to see what you need for your workshop without spending a bunch of money, they're a great option. Is Jono leaving?
I think he is. I mean, why shouldn't he? It's like 10.
They have hundreds of tools available, and I'm going to highlight a couple of the tools that I'm getting for myself for my own shop. One tool I'm getting is a 12.5-inch thickness planer. It has an 1800 watt motor that can provide efficient planing at 315 inches a minute. It also has a heavy duty steel stand to prevent the planer from walking or wobbling during operation. And it has a dust exhaust interface for connecting with a dust collector. It's really an ideal tool for bringing your worn boards back to life. I'm also picking up a 12-piece wood lathe chisel set to use at my stepdad's house. He has a great wood lathe, and it's fun to use. This set has polished wood handles for a comfortable grip and a really nice carrying case so they're portable. If you're looking to expand your tool collection without breaking the bank, check out these 3 discount codes that are good from October 12th till October 31st, and check out the link in my description for the planer and the chisels. Thank you to VEVOR for sponsoring this video. We really appreciate it. Let's get back to the show. For me, the most stressful part of installing a nice kitchen like this is just having to cut holes all in these cabinets for all the plumbing and electrical and not wanting to mess it up. So we always measure 2 or 3 times because we can't just run to the store and grab another cabinet if we mess one of these up. And for me, it's usually easier to make the marks on the back side of the cabinet instead of marking on the inside, because if you do it there, you're gonna have to take into account the thickness of the top or the bottom of the cabinet and also the thickness of the rim above or below that.
So you've worked with the Perkins Builder Brothers all morning. Are we what you thought? Are we like not even carpenters? What do you think?
This is like a comedy.
That's weird. I was thinking the same word. I really was.
I'm not really sure if it's a comedy of errors yet.
I was thinking like
but-
professional,
Amazing, streamline.
However, the nice thing about it is because I am a professional cabinet maker, not everything goes right the first time.
Really?
So I'm glad to see that you guys experience some of that too.
Never. It's never happened.
Fucking baseboard.
Where's your car though, bud?
Over here because the cabinet guy's more important than I am.
His car's like a half mile down the road.
That's what happens when you come late.
One add-on piece of hardware in this blind cabinet for the base that I was completely enamored with was this slide-out shelf by VEVOR. This thing is shaped where it can slide in and out and not touch the sides, and it just looked so cool that I had Nate slide it in and out like 10 times, and he was like, dude, that's enough. But anyway, I liked it. Just one more time for good measure. Up next was our sink base cabinet, and we did some double checking to make sure this ended up centered on our window, because if it's not, then your sink isn't centered and it's very noticeable. For this cabinet, we had to deal with this toe kick vent, which the heat and air guys left a little long, which is good, but we want it to come out exactly flush with the front of our toe kick on the cabinet, so we had to trim it back a few inches in place, which is a little tricky, but again, better than being short. Next, we had to measure for the plumbing that comes through the bottom of our sink base cabinet, and I tried something new here. I made a template out of a piece of cardboard, and I don't know that I've ever done this before, and I don't know why I did it, but it did end up working, and it was probably not as easy as just measuring. With our plumbing locations marked in the bottom of the cabinets, we could go and drill them out. I'm using a 2.5-inch hole saw and a 1-inch paddle bit for the supply lines. My biggest piece of advice here is to be careful, because this thing can punch through and go into your flooring if you're not being careful. So I'm always sort of pulling back on the drill to make sure it doesn't do that. Our final bit of fitting for this cabinet is to cut out for the toe kick vent, and there is a finished piece of toe kick going over this. We don't have to be super careful, but we want to get it pretty close.
How's that baseboard going? Jason! How's that baseboard going? Going good?
We're not really talking to you right now.
Okay.
Setting a sink base cabinet like this is usually a 3-man operation, 2 to hold the cabinet and 1 to go underneath the ground guy to align the pipes. And they actually fit, and I was really happy for Nate that I didn't drill the holes in the wrong place right in front of him and mess up his cabinet.
Here's a really nice touch that Nate did. Instead of having your face frame and then a filler strip, he knew what was going to happen here, and he went ahead and just made this in one piece that laps back onto the cabinet where the face frame would normally terminate. He's even got a little block here to brace this thing out 90 degrees or straight, and that makes it really a lot nicer.
A super crucial part of this base cabinet installation is to actually check that the cabinets are level in both directions and that they are in plane with each other if you have a space where a dishwasher or a stove's going to be across that gap.
We've all just decided that we would vote whoever would get rid of Phillips head screws president of the United States. Yes. No more Phillips heads, only Torx bits.
Wow. Now that's an America I could live in.
That's really a platform I can get behind.
Absolutely.
Out of the base cabinets in this kitchen, we did actually have to shim underneath the front of one of them to bring it up level and in plane across the hole where the dishwasher goes. And this is so that either the granite doesn't crack later or the granite guys don't have to notice it and shim under the granite. That's the other 2 options. So usually it's better to spend a little time and get it all perfect to start with.
Here's another nice touch with these custom cabinets is that this end panel is the full width of the cabinet instead of looking like a cabinet door that's just screwed to the end, which is what you usually get. Check this out, we got a 1/2 inch gap to the window trim here. It was a 1/4 here. So that's something that's kind of noticeable to people if they're OCD. Like, anyway, so we're gonna put a 1/4 inch filler there.
OCD. Yes.
Bring it out.
Yep.
All the OCD people will be happy.
Okay. Yep.
With a 1/4 inch shim now ripped, we could shoot it to the face frame of this cabinet with a pin nailer. And by the way, if you don't own a pin nailer and you want to do cabinets, I'd really recommend getting one. They are great for all kinds of stuff. Next, we took a little time to reinstall these doors, and it's really a pet peeve of mine if doors don't line up. These types of hinges are adjustable up and down and left and right, which is great. We also installed some shelving here, so that was done.
We've made it to here, which is where the refrigerator goes. Has a panel on each side and a giant deep cabinet up top.
I think Nate's smart because he said we're going to build it on the floor and then stand the whole thing up. So we'll see how that works. It's not 100% necessary to have these fridge panels and cabinet, but in my opinion, a kitchen is going to look a lot more finished and cleaner and just a lot better in general if you hide the sides of the refrigerator. Nate did a lot of planning ahead for us so that we had all of the filler strips and things we needed to attach these panels to the upper cabinet without having to make any pieces, which saved us a ton of time. And I also appreciate the time that he put into these panels, making them look awesome. Instead of just one flat panel, he made a 6-panel side to make it look a lot more interesting. And with the unit assembled, we could stand it up and slide it against the wall and attach it to the other cabinetry. And Nate's wife did most of the lifting here, don't let us fool you. Hey, check. Right. Checking the mic. Just kidding, it's just a phone. We've got our refrigerator panels and cabinet set. And there's a couple notes about it that are gonna make this work better than most of them. One is that the space between these is 36 1/2 inches, even though the recommended gap for a refrigerator is usually 36. They usually don't fit on 36, you need that extra half. Second thing is this thing is 30 inches deep instead of 24, so that your standard depth fridge doesn't stick out like that far from your cabinet and look terrible. It's gonna cover the whole fridge except the doors. And you don't have to buy a super double expensive counter depth refrigerator that doesn't have as much room. You can get a regular one. The final step for the refrigerator cabinet is to actually attach the bottom of the panels to the floor so they can't move around. And we're using pocket holes with GRK screws. We've done this a couple different ways, including nailing a strip to the floor and fastening to that.
It's a pretty banging kitchen.
Yeah, babe. Real nice.
Crown molding.
Crown molding, light rail. Got a big island right here in the middle.
Dude, that's the best place for that island. I love when they put that island in the middle.
Hey, that's it for today. So thanks for building with us. And thanks again to VEVOR Tools and Coal Hill Custom Cabinetry. Make sure to stay tuned for the next video where we install the island and all the vanity cabinets. And then after that, we'll do the crown molding and the light rail. So there's lots to come. Let's finish out with Ray checking out our new light.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
What are you doing to make that the brightest?
Well, you gotta switch it to the color and then turn it up.